Hey, what's up everyone, and this is something that literally just came in the door as I was doing another review. So I decided to fast track it, and this is, as you can see, Figma SP-053 Devil Homura, or悪魔ほむら, depending on what you want to call her. And this is from the third Madoka Magica movie, Rebellion. And as you can see up here at the top of the box, this is by Aniplex. To the window on the front of the box, you can see the figure herself. There's a picture on the left hand side, the picture on the right hand side, and there is the top as well as the bottom. And as always, those pictures on the back of the box. Now let's bust this thing open and see what we've got. The DI stage segment in a similar color to the box, it's just not pearlescent. A quick look at the clear inner packaging, there's the figure, face, cube, and the dark orb. And flipping that around to the back, and there are those wings. And in the bottom as usual, the instructions, Figma bag, stand, and extra hands. But as always, onto the main event, the figure itself. And there is the powerful Homura Akemi in her final form.悪魔ほむら, or Devil Homura if you prefer. This is an incredible looking Figma. With the wings and the dress, this is a lot larger than you'd expect. And the detail here is fantastic. And that's even compared to the high standard already set by Max Factory. The default face looks great, and so does the flowing black hair. All in almost black purple, Madoka's red ribbon in her hair is the only splash of color in that sea of darkness. Her amazing wings really are the highlight of this figure, which feature white across the upper sections, and each individual feather looks superb, fading from black to transparent at the tips. The dark dress flows downwards towards tattered ends, and this rough, spiky aesthetic continues around to the back, suggesting an almost amorphous, creeping nature. Matte on the outside and gloss on the inside, which also features a splotched, lighter purple pattern. Both light and dark purple diamond pattern stockings have been faithfully reproduced. And finally, her shoes in a gloss black. Again, like I said, this is an incredible looking Figma. And here is Devil Homura with everything that she comes with. And what we get is 8 alternate hands, cube, an alternate expression, the dark orb, and these awesome huge wings. As well as her default open hands, we also have some fists, some standard Figma holding hands, a widespread hand with the peg in the palm, a pointing hand, this hand here for holding cube, and this hand here with the peg on the back. You'll notice this one here isn't wearing a glove, and also at the same time it's got this really horrible lump on the side here. This one here is not wearing a glove. And although it's not shown here on the back of the box, that is for using like this with the dark orb with the school uniform version of Homura. Another thing you might notice here besides this horrible lump on the side of this particular hand here, these are all the older style of Figma hand where the joint is in the hands themselves, not a separate joint. On retrospect, these look a lot worse than the new hands they're currently using. The wings do look absolutely incredible. All the feathers look amazing, and like I mentioned before, they fade from black to transparent at the tips. And to attach them, you attach this connection point here into the hole in her back, like so. And there they are, attached. And the best thing about this is that the attachment point is your standard Figma peg. So that means it can be used with any Figma. So like I mentioned already, she only comes with one alternate face for a total of 2. So that's this standard face, as well as this smiling face. Next up is Cube, and for something so small, this looks perfect. And there on his scruff you can see a couple of little indents there, and that is for holding him with this hand. Now on to articulation, and as always, from the head down. 2 joints on the back of her head for her hair, and that can move up, rotate, and down. Articulation at the neck, to the front, and to the back. Of course that's going to rotate all the way around, but here's the tilt side to side. There's the arm all the way up, rotation all the way around, bye bye cube. The elbow, again this is the old style wrist, there it is all the way up, all the way down, and of course that can rotate all the way around as well. The torso, all the way to the front, all the way to the back, so that is pretty much it. You've also got some rotation there as well. Can that go all the way around? Let's see. Not really. We've got some joints at the back of the dress here, so that can move up, down, and that can rotate as well. That does allow for a lot of posability with the dress. There's the leg all the way up to the front, and that is pretty good. all the way to the back, all the way out to the side, the bend at the knee, and finally there's the ankle all the way down, all the way up. That can rotate all the way around, and there's the tilt side to side. So that's it for the review. Like I mentioned, this is an incredible looking figure. It really does do the character justice. Everything about this is great except for two factors. The first is that the old style hands don't look the greatest, and the second is, well, it's not a full Figma release, making it both expensive as well as difficult to get your hands on. But I do have to say it is worth the extra effort. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for another Figma review.